morning and welcome to our live session. This live is all about JetMini. We are going to talk in detail about JetMini, and to walk us through that process, we have with us Mr. Riyaz Datoo, the founder of 3D Crystal and the visionary behind JetMini.
I'm so super excited to be here today and to have all of you. Thank you for joining us. I know you said good morning. We were just reading the stream. We have people from around the world, Far East, UK, Europe, Middle East, all different time zones. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us here today.
To start this whole conversation, I would like to paint a picture in front of you all. Right now where I'm standing, I can see LaserBox all around me. Big ones, really big ones, and the largest one in America. From that machine, these machines, to this machine, talk to me about the story.
Well, you know, this started over 20 years ago, and I think it's important to give credit where credit is due, because people always say, you know, you founded the industry, you created the industry, how did the idea come up? You know, there's a whole team that goes behind it, and it's innovation, right? There's many people that were racing for the finish line. I always believe in collaboration, right? And when the tide comes in, everybody should rise. So working with like-minded people to really come out with what we did today. So a lot of credit has to be given to all those out there that have worked with us from day one, from just the conception point. And you referred to the lasers. It's true. I mean, in the lobby here, we have one of the first lasers that we ever had.
Yeah.
And it was huge. It was loud. It was noisy, but we were proud about it.
Yes.
And it makes us even more proud with what we've been able to bring it down to today.
Of course. And I will not waste any more time. I'll dive into the questions.
Yeah.
This one question has popped up a lot of times.
Yeah.
What type of laser are we using in JetMini?
Oh, so the laser inside, actually the laser that we use in all of our lasers are green beam lasers. There's essentially, you know, three types of lasers. There's red, there's green, in subsurface engraving, I should add. There's red, there's green, and there's UV, notably known for subsurface engraving, and we're using the green beam.
Okay, and first of all, you said there are three different types of laser, red, green, and UV. What is the difference between these lasers?
So if I'm going to get technical, so the red beam is how we started. It was like a thicker 1064 width, nm is what it's referred to as. And then the green beam is a split of that red beam, so a thinner beam, 532 nm. And the reason that we like the green beam is because of the higher resolution. It gives a better resolution than the red beam, and the speed and the stability of it. The UV laser is even thinner and even higher resolution.
So, I mean, you said the UV gives better resolution.
Yeah.
So why aren't we using the UV laser instead of the green beam laser in our 3D laser machines?
For several reasons. So, like, I mean, we want to be able to produce a product that customers are going to appreciate, they're going to love, and a system that business owners are going to be able to use with stability. And right now with the UV lasers, the time it takes to burn, what might take like 1 minute with a green beam laser, and specifically the ones that we use, would take, you know, upwards of 30 minutes using a UV laser. The other issue with UV lasers, and it's good you're asking that actually, because people do search and they come across, you know, UV and say, well, maybe I should do that because it does different mediums or whatever. But really, if you're looking to specialize in the 3D crystal business, with UV, we find a challenge in getting the Z focus. And the other thing is that you have to remember that what's important is what the human can recognize. Yeah. So yes, UV is higher resolution if you're willing to wait the time. But if the human eye cannot notice the difference when it comes to subsurface engraving, we would prefer to use a laser that we build ourselves. So the green beam, we build it ourselves.
Oh.
The UV or the red, we would source from others.
Okay.
When you build a laser yourself, it means that you're able to ensure that it's serviceable yourself as well. And that's key. We're not relying on other people. So again, to answer your question, the speed, you know, we can produce crystals in a minute with the green beam. Might take 30 minutes upwards with the UV. The accuracy of the positioning, and really the fact that we can control the quality of it because we're creating that technology.
Before I move on to the next question, Mr. Riyaz, I want to inform the audience that you can see a link right here. You can see an email address right here. If you have any questions, please mail us there, and Mr. Riyaz will be answering those questions shortly.
Can I actually talk to that point? Is what Niharika is referring to is that what we're going to do after this live is I've booked the rest of the afternoon off in 20-minute increments to do a one-on-one meeting with those that are interested and curious to find out more. It's not going to be a meeting with anyone of my team. I am going to arrange to meet with you. I'd love to get to know you better. I know that we have people from all around that are tuning in, and we'll get to go through some really, really steep discounted pricing because we're going to be grouping the orders to produce this. Okay. So it's going to be a one-time. So we're not going to go through pricing. Yeah, because I don't want that pricing to be revealed on a video that's going to showcase in the future on YouTube as well. But please click on that link and book time with me on my calendar, or email the email address that you see there, and we'll send you that link as well right now, so that as soon as this is over, I can meet with you one-on-one in 15-minute increments.
Okay. So moving ahead, Mr. Riyaz, you mentioned the timing, right?
Right.
The UV laser takes longer and the green laser beam less time. How long does JetMini take to, let's just say, maybe etch this machine, this crystal, the big crystal here? How long will that take? Okay,
so basically you've got different sizes of crystals over here. We have, let me just, actually I have them down here and I can pull them up. So we've got like little keychains like this over here. We've got larger crystals like this over here. And, you know, a keychain can take anywhere like, call it 45 seconds to a minute and a half. We've got larger crystals, which can take from 4 minutes all the way up to 25 minutes.
Okay, so I'm guessing that crystal can be done here. What is the biggest size of the crystal that JetMini can do?
Yeah, so anything that we displayed over here can actually be done in this laser. So small accessories all the way up to a 15 by 10 centimeter crystal, which in inches is 6 by 4 inch. So this covers 80% of the product that we sell, because with other lasers that we also sell, 3DLaserBox, we have lasers that can do larger pieces and multi-mode, but they account for the additional 20%. But 80% of the market can actually be taken care of with the 3DLaserBox JetMini.
And the speed is also affected by the 3D conversion. Am I right, Mr. Riyaz?
Speed is affected by a couple things. So you've got, the size of the crystal. You've got the amount of white that is in. So if someone is wearing, like I'm wearing a black sweater today. So this black sweater, it's the inverse of printing. When you print, black means more ink. In our world, black means less points. Okay. You're wearing a brighter blazer, so you would actually have more points. So at the end of the day, you might be taking a smaller piece of crystal, but yours will take longer to burn than mine because I'm wearing a darker color and a larger piece of crystal. That's one. Two is, of course, the laser that's used. So like I said, we are building our own laser, and at this juncture, I would actually like to give credit, you know, to the people, the engineers around the world, the software developers around the world that have been involved in putting this together, from Ukraine, India, Canada, America, China, engineering minds, you know, in China. We've got a lot of effort. Shirley, Fiona, you know, the family of Shirley that's involved in this. I mean, so many people that have been a part of making this happen. And then, so you've got the laser that's being built, and then you've got the conversion process. So being able to take that flat image and make it 3D. That is really, I think, the part that is the challenge from day one. When we had 3D cameras to today, when we have to convert, someone giving us a photo and telling them to come back later on after a few hours is where we tend to lose business. So yeah, the speed of.
So the speed is also enhanced because of the AI integration of this machine, right, Mr. Riyaz? Because of that.
That's key. So that the AI part is key. And look, you know, AI is a buzzword, right? Everybody's, you know, talking about artificial intelligence, but really what's happening over here is that we went online and we tried third-party tools, sending photos, getting 3D renderings done, and it looks good on the screen. But when you download the file and try and bring it into the real world, meaning that you're going to take a 3D file and send it to a 3D printer, for example, and 3D print it, or send it to a subsurface engraver and laser etch it inside. The issue is that when you bring it to the real world, that's where you start to see the flaws. You see fingers are melted into each other. You see eyeballs, like the sockets, are at the back of the head. You see noses are flat. If you have someone holding something, it doesn't recognize it. People's different poses, wearing a hat, glasses get warped, all kinds of issues. So the value that we had was millions of data points from photo to 3D geometry. Photo, flat, 3D geometry. And what we were able to do was machine train from that to that, from A to Z. And with so much data, it improved the accuracy. Now, of course, there were a lot of challenges. How long does it take to calculate? How can you calculate multiple at a time? How can you handle all these different angles and different variables that are there? But we actually developed our own training process, which got protected.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so now we're protected with our own in-house developed technology, software, and conversion process that we're using, which is the key that unlocks the doors for many to be able to use this, in their businesses.
Oh, because we are talking about the 3D conversion, I suggest let's do a live demo right now. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here I've got my phone. Maybe you can just put your camera down. I don't want to just do it. I want to do it with 3 people, make it a little bit more complicated.
Yes.
All right.
Come on, join us.
Okay, so basically, you could have customers send you photos from their phone. In this case, we're going to do a selfie. You want to grab that?
Yes, of course. On 3, 2, 1, say cheese. There you go.
All right, cool. So you take that picture. And what you do, so this is now, what we'll do is we'll demo a process.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a couple ways to do it. One is people can, have the machine at a retail environment, a QR code like this here. Can you see that? And ask customers to scan the QR and upload photos. There's another way where you can take photos at events yourself. So right now we'll demo the whole process of retail. Okay. So you can use my camera, assuming that I'm the shopkeeper and Niharika here is the customer. So what Niharika is going to do is she's going to scan the QR. Now you can see here that what it does is it makes it capable of handling multiple customers at a time around your booth. So whether you're doing a festival, a fair, a home show, whatever it is, you can have multiple people, one person manning the booth, and all those people can be scanning the QR and uploading their photos. So let's just show the screen. Can you bring the camera here and show the screen? Okay, all right, so should we go close up there? All right, so what she's gonna do is maybe just come a little closer here and select the orientation, horizontal, click on next, upload.
And
upload the photo.
I've uploaded the photo.
Yeah. And so this is not an app. Move back a little bit. Okay, this is not an app. This is all web-based, okay? So it's very easy for anyone to do right off their phones. Now, I'll give you a little trick here is that this template is accurate to the glass. So it's 1 for 1, okay? And so what's gonna happen here is we are going to zoom in to the faces because that's what the customer is paying for. The customer can position it exactly as they want. If they ordered a heart, it would have a heart there. But the customer is doing 90% of the work. They can add inscription if they want to add inscription. Click on next. Any add-ons that they want. Enter their information. So they'll enter their email, their name, their text, whatever it is. And hi, Neil, I got your message. Thanks for watching. And this here is lead retrieval as well. So now not only have they uploaded a photo, but they've given you information that you can then market to them later as well. So now you just confirm order. And can you see that? A little closer. And it's asking for confirmation. So why? So this has been very, very well thought out. The idea is that you have a lot of people around your booth. If you just take a look at the videos on our YouTube and some of the events that we've done, you'll see that there's a crowd of people around the booth. And we're encouraging the experience because they haven't paid anything to scan the QR. So we want them to scan the QR and look for a photo because the reality is that after someone has actually taken the time to find a photo, they're more than 50% sold. Like they're gonna generally buy. Okay, so we want to encourage that, but we don't want all these random spam photos coming to our system. So at this stage, you control that because there's a page asking for a passcode. So all those people around the booth that uploaded photos, those are pre-orders. Now what happens is that it's asking them for a passcode. So if you just go onto the Chrome browser there,
Yes.
to your admin, there we go. Click on My Orders on the top.
Yes.
Excellent. And what it does there is on the admin page, on your admin page, which you're going to be logged into, it gives you a passcode which changes intermittently. So at the top, we can see it's
68754.
So I'll just put 68754. Submit. Now don't go spamming us right now, okay? We just, they can see the QR, they know the PIN code. Anyway, so now what's happened is that I, or the customer, has engaged with the shopkeeper to ask for the passcode. So the shopkeeper now knows that that customer is serious. So they bring them along, they give them the passcode, but now they're engaged. So they say, okay, is this your photo? So they'll come on over here. Do we have that camera running? B camera? No, okay. So it seems like one of our cameras, this is what happens in live TV, right? Is that one of our cameras went down on battery or whatever it is. So, but basically what's happening here is that we've received the order. We're going to, we're just going to confirm that it's their order. We're going to collect payment. Once we collect the payment, we're then going to sync it to auto convert. So when we click on sync, it goes to auto convert, and now it's actually going to convert that photo quick. And this is where the magic happens. So you've collected your payment, you've synced it. Normally you'd have to wait a few hours to get it manually converted. Here it is doing it, you know, really, really quickly, and it's going to make it 3D in minutes.
So while, can we see the 3D? Is that done?
It's gonna take so I just clicked on sync, so give it maybe a couple minutes.
Okay, while that is happening, I want to ask one very important question. That is, when I was doing my research to do the live, actually, I came across a lot of laser machines, 3D laser machines of different price points, okay? Some were pretty cheap. I want to ask why any person who's looking to start this business should invest in JetMini and not those machines.
So, well, first of all, this is a really, really important question. I think that this point is why I'm doing the live today. Because we were at a show just a few weeks ago, and we had, you know, one person that came to our booth that loved the product, loved the entire process, and was ready to purchase, but then went onto Google and started seeing all these laser machines at different price points and, you know, got confused. So as much as she loved it, she decided she wasn't comfortable, and I get it, because now all of a sudden she needs to do her homework, right? So I get it. So let me try and explain for you guys. It is so important that you do your homework. Whether you're purchasing a 3D laser box from us or not, it is critical that you do your homework, because I'll tell you something, is even if you spend $1,000, it's a lot of money when it's money down the trash, when it's wasted, okay? You might spend $20,000, which is a lot of money, but if that money is gonna be easy to generate revenue. It's all about
cash flow.
Cash flow, right? Cash flow. We want you guys to be able to generate revenue quick, okay? And we want you to be in the business of selling crystals, not fixing machines. So when you go on Google and you search, you might find clickbait, people selling machines for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That it's a gimmick. It's clickbait. What they're trying to do is get you to click, so you go to their site, and then over there, by the time they actually engage you, speak to you, and get all your add-ons in and shipped, it's already hovering somewhere around 10K landed, okay? But the other issue is really the fact that, let me start at the heart of the matter, is the heart of the laser, is the actual laser inside the machine. Most of those companies are sourcing their lasers from others. Their green beams are lasers that don't have Q switches. The stability is bad. They're relying on other companies that cannot create the kind of lasers that we've created that we put inside the machine, okay? So number one is the stability of the laser, from centering on the X, on the Y, on the Z. Remember, there's refraction. So when a laser refracts through, think of light going through water and you see it bending. So the same thing happens, there's refraction. Finding that Z accurately on thin, on thick pieces of glass, where we've mastered the optics of doing that. You've got the size of the lasers. So the lasers that are being sold out there are huge. And that's how we started, was, you know, you plant your laser, you know, back then it was like water cooled, you know, lasers that were dripping water and heavy. And, you know, if your wife let you put it in the garage, you know, because she won't let you bring it at home for sure, not inside. But, you know, you have those sorts of lasers. You're waiting for the business to come to you. When you're buying from us, you're going out to the business. And even if you bought the larger laser, the drone or the rocket from us, and you say, well, that's not portable. Well, it depends on your business model.
Yeah.
So if the business model is to produce, you know, as a hub, then yes, consider the drone or the rocket. They're multi-mode machines. You can put different pieces on, different styles, different shapes, different customers' orders. But it's a different business model if you want to do a laser hub. But the key thing, again, even there is that the laser is stable. Now, with this one here, we want to be able to go out to the business. So not only can my wife, for example, plug this in to the living room and run it at home, but she can now go with my kids to festivals, fairs, and shows and sell crystals at those events. And so occupy the weekends hustling, at home on the weekdays, working and producing right from the living room. And of course, the key difference is what? What's the main difference between our laser and anything?
AI integration.
AI.
By that, is the 3D done, Mr.
Yeah,
Riyaz?
it's done. So you can see as soon as it's done, it pops up onto the screen. And this is where I really wish that second camera was working, but we could have done a little zoom, but hopefully you can still see it. Or can he zoom in a bit to with that camera there? Okay, good. He zoomed in. All right, excellent. So what we can do is, by the way, this is like an Iron Man mask because my son likes Iron Man, so we built a door like that too. So just take a blank piece of crystal from here. Okay. And I'll just show the jigs. So you've got jigs like this here. They're all marked up with the different sizes and shapes as well. Okay, so it's simple. You just put the jig right onto the laser and go ahead and put the crystal where it belongs, nice and straight.
I hope this is okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
And close the door. And this is where I like to actually ask the customer many times, depending on your setup, to tap on the go button. So click on go. And this is where the table goes to position. The laser shoots. And now we've actually created a transparent window. I'm not sure, can you see it shooting? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So we've got a transparent window. So we thought everything through. Again, this is over 20 years of experience of me being out there, hustling. And I've been able to get a lot of data, what the customers need, what excites the customers, what draws a crowd. This draws a crowd because now they are watching it being made. They got to tap on go. They get to be a part of the process.
And it's almost, I think, done. It's 65% done right now.
Yeah, there's a little meter there. It tells you how long. And my first keychain took me over an hour 21 years ago to burn, and it had maybe 200-300 points. This one here has 62,000 points with three people in it. All done. It's done now in 45 seconds. Go ahead, open that up.
45 seconds, and I'm going ahead with Mr. Riyaz, you should.
Yeah, sure. So you just tell me where I should, a little closer. Here's the light. Closer. And here's the light. It lights up. All right, you can see that. I'll just turn it so you can see the 3D. All right, a little back. All right, there you go, 3D. Okay, that is like anybody that's been in this business, I used to have to take photos with the 3D camera to do this. This here was done, it was converted in, actually, I can tell you the time. This was actually converted in 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes to convert this to 3D. And by the way, the system allows you to convert multiple at a time.
Okay.
So, at events, for example, the other version of the software, which is also a part of it, is where as people are entering, you take their pictures. Yeah. And they go to their tables at a wedding reception, for example. You've just taken their pictures. It's all going to this order queue here. Okay. And it's converting all at the same time. So it's not like it took 4 minutes for the first, 4 minutes for the second, no. All of them in parallel actually being converted in those few minutes, right? So.
You mentioned about 3D cameras.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the 3D camera right here. Why don't you show it to the audience and tell me how it used to be back then and what's it now?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So before I pull that camera, I just wanted to remind everybody that after this live, I've booked the afternoon off to do private Zoom meetings with whomever wants to find out more. You might be curious about the technology, about the software, about the pricing on the machine. And today we're running a steep promo discount. And the reason we're doing that is because we're grouping the orders together in order to do the next batch. So the first batch that we produced, there's now a 3-month wait on those.
Yes.
And now we're doing a second batch so we can get all of our dear tourist locations to have their lasers in time for the upcoming summer season. So click on that link in the comments and book some time on my calendar, or send an email and they'll send you the link. And I really look forward to speaking to you guys right after this meeting. Okay, so this is the camera. So this was one of my first cameras, if not the first camera that we used. And we took this out. You can see it's got 3 lenses on the top. And these 3 lenses would shoot 3 pictures, and we would stitch those images together. And then underneath over here, you've got a projector inside. So it would shoot a bright white light, and then that would create a 3D mesh using structured light. And so we would map the texture from those JPEGs that it stitched together on top of that 3D mesh, and we would have a 3D model. But the problem is that, you see, everybody loved the product when they saw it on display.
Yes.
But to get them to sit in front of a camera, that's where you lose more than 50% of those that were engaged, because they are not wanting to get it for themselves. They want to get it for someone else.
Yes.
So, you know, at that time, we couldn't take it from a photo. You know, they maybe did want to get it for themselves, but they didn't realize that we were going to be selling 3D crystals, because no one goes there as a destination for this. Course. It's an impulse buy. Yeah. And they don't have their hair done up, or they're not wearing what they want to wear, and they don't want to immortalize themselves in crystal in that state. But that's how it all started. And then, of course, we came to Cockpit 3D and the ability to do it from a photo, and, you know, that takes time. And then we've got now the whole, you know, quick 3D generation through.
And you were right, like, to be honest, I wouldn't mind anyone clicking my picture if I'm not ready. Today I was ready, and that's why we have a great keychain. And can I take a keychain?
Yeah, that keychain's here is no problem.
Thank you. Before we move forward, I have one more last question to ask. That is, what are the different type of business model one can do using JetMini?
Business models for JetMini. Okay, so again, it's all about cash flow. Okay, my objective is really to help entrepreneurs start an exciting, fun business. So today, maybe our audience are a lot of people that are already in the business. But for those that stumble across this video in the future, that are looking for a unique business, I really want you to be encouraged by the kind of margin that you can make with this. You're taking, again, as was run in our intro and what I said there, you're taking a raw material piece of crystal or glass or transparent material that has very little value, okay? And you're increasing the value of it simply by changing the properties using laser light. And now, all of a sudden, you have, you know, the ability to sell it for 3, 4, 5 times what your cost was on the product. Great, great margin. So the idea, and I've seen it with this machine, for those that we delivered to already, they achieved their ROI. The first guy actually got his ROI in under 30 days. Wow. And, you know, others in under 90 days. But the business started the moment they decided they wanted to get into the business, not when they got their machine. That's the #1 mistake people make, is that they say, okay, I'm getting in the business now, I better rent an office, I better hire people, I better get all the furniture, and I better get my reception's desk. And no, the business starts before any of that. And you know, I can give you a couple. I think I should really talk about the business models in my one-on-one Zoom. Of course. But what I'll do is I'll give a couple of the really popular ones that I love. So in one occasion, there was one young guy, like a kid, he was in his early 20s. And before he got his machine even, he was hustling. He went out to all these retailers that already were paying rent, that already had a store. And he got, you know, pet shops, jewelers, gift shops. He got even hair salons, anywhere that there was traffic, to display the 3D crystal product and to, you know, tell them that, you know, anything, there's no upfront inventory cost. So when they sell it, he's producing it for them and they're keeping 40%. So think about it. He has 100 good stores that are bringing 1 order a week, even 1 order a week. I'm giving you an example. 1 order. He's getting more than that, but let's be conservative. 1 order a week. So that's 100 orders a week minimum if he has 100 good shops.
Of course.
And each transaction, say the average revenue is $100. So you're looking at $10,000 in gross minus the 40% he has to pay. He's left with $6,000 minus the cost of raw material, which is quite honestly insignificant because of the incredible margins on this. So, you know, he's making a handsome monthly revenue just by scaling with other people displaying the product. That doesn't include the events and the fairs. And I'll give you one example. My wife and my kids. So they did a 10-day festival. And at that 10-day festival, they sold 3D crystals and they were able to do $29,000. And I show people my Square report. You know, I show it to them because it's sometimes unbelievable, but really 29,000, but that's top line. They had to subtract the cost of rent, the cost of travel and everything, but still to generate that kind of revenue is very, very encouraging because that's one event, let alone all the other events that could be done.
To know more about such business models, please do not forget to mail us. You are seeing the email address right on your screen. Book timing with Mr. Riyaz, book a Zoom meeting and he'll talk more about in detail about that. And is there any parting thoughts before you leave, Mr. Riyaz?
Well, I just, again, want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to definitely recognize the person that has been the most recent to purchase 3DLaserBox JetMini. This very machine over here is going to be shipping out soon. And so a shout out to John Monaco. And John, along with your machine, we're also going to be sending you this frame, which says, do you need me to come in a little closer or are we okay? Over here, a little closer. So this frame here, it says what I love to say, competition is healthy, but collaboration is healthier. Welcome to the world of 3D crystal and make a lot of these. So put this up on your wall and we'll ship this with your laser.
Before we end this, Mr. Riyaz, one last question. What is more dear to you, the machine or your signature there?
I'm biased on that one.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I hope you will mail us soon and we'll see you at the Zoom meetings.
Make a lot of money. Make money, cash flow. 3DLaserBox JetMini. Thanks, guys.
See you.